Good afternoon, guys. Proud of our guys yesterday. It was, a good tape to dive into. Felt like December football, between the elements and being on the road. Quite a bit of adversity in the game. Was proud of kind of that tough effort by our guys and lots to still correct and improve on. But to start the month of December off the way we have and knowing the critical time of the year it is for our team, I do think we're doing a lot of the right things and doing the things that win this time of year, and it's going to be something we're going to have to do this week and a unique week with the holiday. Merry Christmas to everybody, by the way, but unique week with the holiday and also with our opponent playing tonight. Second time around against this team, so there's going to be a lot of unique aspects of the preparation this week for a really good team and. Going to be a NFC North, classic NFC North battle between two really good teams. And glad we get them at home. Our home environment's been phenomenal, so very much looking forward to that. Giving you guys an update, Harrison Smith, as I kind of said yesterday, truly was kind of a game-time feel to that. So to get the victory and also, make sure we gave him a day. He should be able to progress through the week and be available for us. Jalen Redmond's doing well in the protocol, entering kind of the next phases of that, and hope to work him back in throughout the week. And then we will open up Ivan Pace's window to begin practicing. Very excited about that. And then Fabian Moreau is really the one that, will be a progression throughout the week to see if he can be available for us.
Kevin, what are the unique things that Ivan brings to your defense? And then just to clarify, you made it sound like he definitely is going to come back this week.
Well, we're going to open his window, so and we'll see how he progresses. And coming off of a hamstring, you never quite know. So I don't want to be absolute, but the plan is as of right now to open his window, get him some work, and then hopefully have him available. But what he brings is, we talk a lot about play style. Ivan is, he's the poster guy for that because he tackles, he flies around. When he blitzes, he's as impactful as anybody. And when you can really get him and Cash out there at the same time, they both can really play to their strengths. They're both really good blitzers. Cash is phenomenal in coverage and reading the quarterback. And when you can kind of pair those guys together, run and pass, that's when we're at our best. Considering Metellus, Harry, and Cam, their impact from the safety position. So, pair all that with, you see the impact Andrew Van Ginkel's ability to drop. Now we're seeing it with Dallas. Grenard making a play on a screen, kind of sniffing that out. So you're just seeing the versatility of kind of the whole group. Good to have Gilly back as well. Really, really tough matchup, and thought he battled all day versus Metcalf. One of the really good receivers in our game. So it was really productive, and the guys stepping in for Harry, both Theo and Bobby, I thought did a lot of really good things as well.
Kevin, it feels like you guys have had a lot of success recently with like those deep spray out routes with anticipation with Sam. Like what is the key to making those plays work as well as you guys have?
Yeah, I think just we have to have the availability to throw out-breaking routes. We do like to throw a lot of in-breaking crossing routes, dagger-type cuts. So to pair those together, that's really where you start talking about all angles of the cut for both Jordan and Justin, obviously. And then you build some layers to that where we can play off of some looks and some leverages and try to allow those guys to have a little bit more freedom at the line. And then you got to have a quarterback that can drive the ball to the chalk. I mean, that's what Sam has proven to be pretty elite at doing, is pushing the ball. That's the phrase I use where we're attacking every blade of grass. That doesn't just mean vertical. That means sideline to sideline. And I think that's a huge part of what's helped us this year.
What was it like for you to get a game ball?
Yeah, that was really special. I think that was my third one now. I got one after our first win. After my fourth child was born in 22, when Callie was born, and then that one. So it was special. This whole year has kind of I truly have really relished those moments with the team after these victories where we're able to go and put a lot of different parts of this organization together in a 3-hour window to get a win. It's been those have been the real highlights for the year for me, for sure. And nobody I respect more than Brian O'Neill, so to get that from him in that moment was really special.
Do you feel like the camaraderie of this team, like, was that an intentional aspect for you guys, or is it just a blend of, like, those guys have just meshed?
No, it was. I mean, it was day one. I thought it would be a critical part of truly maximizing, who we would become as a team. Not just for moments like yesterday, but there's been a lot of them throughout the year where complementary football sometimes is something that people throw out as a loose term. But to do that, you've got to have the right makeup to the team. And I think it goes back to a big intent for last offseason was making sure we added not only the right kind of players, scheme fits, and especially on the defensive side, but the right kind of guys. Smart, tough, love football, love being great teammates, because when you have those guys and you give a message as a head coach or you're consistently delivering that message, you see them, it starts to get ingrained. And you guys probably even notice with how they talk. I'm not telling those guys what to say. I'm not telling them anything other than, messages of what I think it's going to take to win every game we play, but then also the foundational piece that between our football philosophy and what we feel very strongly about that matters is the makeup of our locker room and the culture that those guys have built here, that we're all trying to adhere to that standard, because it's not about ourselves, it's about each other. And when you have that in those moments, that's when you feel a totally connected team. And I think this team's shown that we can be relentless in our pursuit of kind of upholding that, which I think is a really big thing. But it's all about the guys, it's all about the players and their ability to take ownership of the things that are important for this organization and this team, and they've shown to do that.
What do you think is the,
No, go ahead.
has been sort of the, from your vantage point at least, why do you think that Justin and Sam have been able to get on the page that they're at? Like, I don't know if it's a direct correlation, but if you look after the Jacksonville game for Sam, we know how that's gone, and it's kind of gone sort of similar for Justin since then too. I don't know what you've seen that has come about.
No, it's a good question, because I've seen it as well, and just even there were some tight completions there yesterday, third down, in the second half there, Justin right on the boundary. That's a tight, well defended throw. I would like to think it's time on task and the work that gets put in throughout the week and after practice and just the conversation and dialogue as Sam's gotten more comfortable. Whether it's a Saturday morning meeting or, a Thursday third down day, just the dialogue between those guys that has grown. And I think Justin's just overall football intelligence, where he's come to through really all these games now over 3 years of being defended so many different ways. Just the feel of, he's seen it all at this point. Now he's applying it to, they're not just lines on paper anymore. There's an organic kind of adjustment feel to some of the things we're doing that has kind of opened up part of the field for us that, sometimes we're attacking it, other times we're not. But throughout the course of a game, we kind of have the ability to, when we need that play, we can stack all the information gathered that day on top of, the thousands upon thousands of reps of building that rapport that those guys can then make those plays in those moments for sure.
Coach, yesterday in the locker room, Cam Bynum was kind of joking that, they say that whenever Theo gets on the field, he makes a play of some sort. And I know that obviously there's an emphasis all the time on next man up, but, how significant is it to have Theo and obviously a guy like Bobby, too, who are just kind of at the ready if they do need to take on a bigger role?
Yeah, Bobby, just speaking of Bobby first, he's been massive for me even, all season long, being on the scout team, giving us, hey, coach, if you do that out of, even on the play, we converted on the early fourth down in the game. We ran that in practice and Bobby took it away. And my immediate dialogue was not, hey, let's get the look right. It was, Bobby, what'd you think on that? What would help it? So we made some adjustments to it that ended up playing out in the game. So Bobby's been incredible, and just to be able to be a veteran presence, that's the value of that practice squad, those veteran spots. I think we've seen that all across the board on our team this year. A lot of those guys getting elevated, stepping in, playing, and doing some really good things in all three phases. But then, Theo, you remember going back, I felt like every day at the podium in training camp, Theo had made another play, and he got his hands on another ball, and he had maybe one of the best off seasons for out of anybody on our team. So to see him go in there and not miss a beat and make a play to put it away, I wasn't surprised. That's just what Theo's been for us. It's just such an incredibly deep safety room. He'd be playing a lot of snaps for a lot of teams. So for him to be ready and the impact he's had in the kicking game as well has been huge.
The adjustment that Justin makes on that route to take it upfield, just like how fine of a line is that for him to know when to do that, like when the safety flips his hips, and then for Sam to see it, like how much has to go right?
Yeah, the good thing is progression-wise, Sam's gonna get to Justin one way or the other. Either we throw the ball away from the coverage if they want to load it up over there, and loading it up might simply be the hips of the safety. Had his demeanor been the other way, Jordan and TJ were working kind of a concept with Speedy taking the middle on the other side. But that's part of it, is if you're going to give some freedom on certain plays, like it's got to be something that systematically times up with the quarterback's feet and eyes, so that it's not just because to see, the expression, see a little, see a lot, see a lot, see a little, like that's a fine line where all of a sudden, Justin could be wide open, but to have Sam be able to see it and then be able to place the ball in those milliseconds that happen before taking. I didn't realize the type of shot he took on that play after he let it go until I watched it back. But it's got to be something where there's freedom and there's some nuances to Justin being able to do the things he does, but at the same time it's got to fit with the progression in the eyes of the quarterback, and that's where we've tried to grow from a standpoint of building it in a way, whatever the concept is, whether it's a core concept and we're just making little tweaks to it, or it's a brand new concept for the week. Nothing doesn't go through the filter of, is this going to be playable and a real op, no matter what it looks like on the tape, because that's my number one pet peeve, to go back in that moment and say, with the clicker this morning, hey, why didn't you throw it here or there? I don't believe in that.
Generally speaking, why would a safety turn that way? I mean, when Justin's there, and I don't think any other receiver was around him, like, do you think, is it just as simple as he thought that's where he was coming?
Well, we had done quite a few things with multiple guys going vertical from the field in the game at different levels. So, it's a lot of people coach, body positioning and presence in areas of the field while still trying to, like with our system, I do think people have to try to do multiple jobs at once sometimes. Speedy is pushing the middle of the field there. And, the truly having the multiple eligibles available, where Justin being one of them by himself on the backside of the formation. We started it out with 3 receivers in the boundary and then shifted. There's a lot of nuances that we're trying to apply that sometimes it might just look like, why are they doing this or that? But we're trying to see if we can elicit some direct responses from players within coverages where they're not all the same. Not all, you can write it up on the board as this coverage, but then how it plays out, each individual team plays them differently. The adjustments throughout the game, you start to see some things where they've got some things they've got to work through to take some of the other things away we've done. So then in that moment, that play might, have a little bit better chance than if we had called it the first drive of the game, if that makes sense.
You mentioned the shots that Sam took. I think it was the play before where he stayed down for a little.
Yeah.
What was going through your head in that moment to then turn around and call that long shot that he ended up throwing?
Yeah, it was, I liked the amount of time we had left where we felt like we could still be in some standard offense there, where we weren't all shotgun, totally just drop back mentality at that point. But yeah, I checked with him, via the headset, the classic, are you okay? And he can't talk back, so I just assumed that he was. But yeah, no, he gave me the thumbs up, and and then to make like we talked about yesterday, it was just a fantastic play.
Did he emerge all right today from all the hits that he took?
Yeah, no, I went down to get a coffee earlier, and he was getting a massage, so I would take that as a positive.
Kevin, when it comes to some of the off script or where he has to make plays, it seems like over the last few weeks he's had a lot of those, but he's also sort of towed the line of not taking risks when
Yeah.
he does that. Well, I guess what have you seen from that, from being a playmaker but also not putting the football at risk?
Yeah, he's shown some tremendous growth from a standpoint of, I don't think he gets enough credit for his athleticism, both short area and then when he does move, the amount of ground he can cover. So that's been impactful all season long. But whether it's the play in the red zone versus the Colts, where he's kind of learned through some of those. He hasn't had many of them, but he's learned down and distance. What's a positive result of this outcome and these split-second decisions that I'm having to make, and then ultimately just understanding field position, time of the game, what's the score, managing the situation of each individual play, and then knowing when he could be more aggressive than not. That comes with time. That comes with time in this offense, and I think he's, over these last few games, he's been lights out as a decision maker, but also, just in general running the offense. I think his only interception really came on that fourth down play, where I got to give him a better play anyway. So put that one on me.
Kevin, what did you think of Levi's first defensive snaps, and what have you observed from him just on his journey here to get to that place?
Yeah, I think he's been, he's a guy we're pouring into, obviously, for the long term. We think he's got a lot of, upside from a versatility standpoint, rushing the passer, continuing to grow and defending the run and how it fits with his role in our defense. But he's just a guy that, we have, when Jalen wasn't able to go, it was Levi's up, and it's not just the next man up, and you got to step up and play. We have a lot of confidence in Levi to go in there and do his job, and that's what he did. Limited snaps, but I thought he's been impactful whenever he's gotten opportunities, and very, very much a positive future for us. I know that for sure.